got a lot of news to go over this evening. Hard, hard to know really where to start. There's so much to talk about. Actually, believe that or not, we're actually broadcasting tonight. Um, let's see, we're on iHeartRadio. We're on Spreaker. We're on. I think we're on iTunes. I think we're. Let me think. Maybe on SoundCloud. I really don't know about that. One thing's for sure. We are on alexmorganshow.org and broadcasting for the very first time ever right here on good old Instagram.com. We have the show of shows. Get my lighting going on right here a little bit better. I will better serve you all. I'm looking forward to taking some calls tonight. I don't know if I'm sounding echoey on the other end or not. I still don't have the best sound going on that I possibly could. So I have upgraded it here in the past couple of weeks. So yeah, that's good news. I'm always happy to get some new equipment. I'm always happy to upgrade anything, whether it be a pair of socks, a pair of drawers. It don't matter if it's an upgrade. It is a plus. Okay, I will be blunt as possible. It's been a long day today. I've actually been at the hospital about all day. Earlier today with the little woman. She's sick, and I've been trying to take care of her so bad because I was actually up all night almost with her, and then I took her to the doctor earlier. So she's in bed resting right now. Daz, while I get my mic, she's having her little rest this evening. What time I'm doing this show. Um, but as far as calling in, um, I'd like to. You're welcome to call the number in the background. Um, my Instagram listeners probably can't see it, but there it is. It is 276-524-0047. You can also message me on Instagram, message me on Twitter at Real Big Al Morgan. You can message me on Facebook, facebook.com/Big Al Morgan. Um, I've been trying to use my Google Voice a little bit more, my Google Hangouts, so I don't know anybody that uses it much, but you know, always piss in front of a pair of Nikes, ladies and gentlemen. For those of y'all who've known me for a while, maybe you understand what I'm talking about when I talk about this transition. I've actually changed a lot over the years, but to close here, I want to make sure everybody
will the president do? He's been teasing this out for a couple of weeks now. He's now listed about a dozen fake news stories, in his words, that he wants to highlight. We're going to run through the top five, starting with number five, the president calling out the Washington Post for, in his words, falsely reporting a massive sold-out rally in Pensacola, Florida, as being empty. He says a dishonest reporter showed a picture hours before the event started, and it was much, much bigger. Number four, Time Magazine falsely reporting that the president removed a bust of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. from the Oval Office. Remember, this was something that Time reported literally day one, day two of this administration. It was a fake story. Number three, CNN, in the words of the president, falsely reporting that candidate Donald Trump and his son Donald Trump Jr. had access to hacked documents from WikiLeaks before the public did. That was not true, had to be retracted as well. Number two, the president going after ABC News' Brian Ross. In the president's words, in this thing just tweeted out, Brian Ross, quote, chokes and sends markets in a downward spiral with false report. Remember, that was about retired General Michael Flynn and pleading guilty to that charge of lying to the FBI. Brian Ross suggesting that this dated back to actual collusion in the campaign. That had to be walked back. That was not true. The stock market crashed on that initial fake news. The president calling that out. Finally, number one in the president's estimation for the 2017 fake news awards, and I've been waiting for this, Tucker. The New York Times' Paul Krugman, the columnist, claiming on the day of the president's historic landslide victory, in the president's words, the economy would never recover. As you can see from the market activity today, announcements like Apple saying they're pouring a lot more money into this economy, bringing repatriated money back into the United States. That is something that the White House is crowing about tonight. Paul Krugman, unbelievable. And thank you. Good to see you.
We'll go ahead and watch a little bit of this song just briefly if you want to. Like a 2-minute video. This is actually one that I missed, I think. No, never mind. This is Dirty City. We won't watch this. Not watch this for a minute.
Good afternoon. Let me start by previewing some of the president's plans for the rest of the week. Tomorrow he will travel to H&K Equipment Company near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. H&K began as a small family. Which they credit to the president's pro-jobs, pro-worker, pro-growth economic agenda. Thanks to the passage of the Trump tax cuts, H&K will now be able to expense 100% of the investments they make in new equipment in the same year they buy it. According to H&K, this means their investments back into the company will be 50% higher than this last year. That means millions of dollars will be invested in growing their business rather than propping up the bloated government in Washington. When they buy more trucks and equipment for their rental fleet, they hire more technicians to service them, buy more service vehicles to transport those techs from customer site to customer site, and buy more parts from their suppliers to keep the rental fleet running. All of this economic activity spurred by the tax bill will result in more jobs, higher wages, and a brighter future. The president looks forward to spending time with some of the workers who are reaping the benefits of the tax cuts and reforms, and we know this is just the beginning. On Friday, we're excited to announce that the president will become the first sitting president to address the March for Life from the White House live via satellite. This will take place from the Rose Garden. The president is committed to protecting the which was released yesterday by the Department of Justice and the Department of Homeland Security. I won't steal Mr. O'Callahan's thunder, but this report highlights the urgent need for Congress to adopt the immigration reforms identified in the administration's priorities. I'll bring him up now so he can make a statement, answer a couple of questions, and as usual, I know you will all be on your best behavior and ask him questions on this topic only, and then I will be happy to come back up and answer other questions on news of the day. Ed?
Good afternoon. My name is Ed O'Callahan, and I am the Principal Deputy Assistant Attorney General in the Justice Department's National Security Division. In my capacity as Principal Deputy, I assist the Acting Assistant Attorney General in the supervision of the 350 dedicated investigators and prosecutors who carry out the Department's highest priority, protecting the United States from threats to our national security. I've been with the National Security Division since November of last year. Previously, from 1999 to 2008, I was an Assistant United States Attorney in the Southern District of New York. From 2005 to 2008, I was co-chief of the Terrorism and National Security Unit in the Southern District of New York. And some of the cases I worked on, of course, during that time included the investigation into the 9/11 attacks that occurred while I was an Assistant United States Attorney in the Organized Crime and Terrorism Unit of the Southern District of New York. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today about yesterday's release of the Department of Justice and Department of Homeland Security's Section 11 report. The report, titled after Section 11 of President Trump's Executive Order 13780, Protecting the Nation from Terrorist Entry into the United States, was a collaborative effort between the DOJ and DHS to respond to EO 13780's directive to provide information to the American people regarding the number of foreign nationals charged with or convicted of terrorism-related offenses or removed from the United States based on terrorism-related or national security reasons. The Justice Department's National Security Division maintains a list of individuals convicted of international terrorism-related charges in U.S. federal courts between September 11, 2001 and December 31st of 2016. As indicated in the report, as of December 31st, 2016, there are 549 individuals on that list of convictions of terrorism, international terrorism-related offenses. A subsequent DHS analysis of those 549 individuals convicted of international terrorism-related offenses determined that approximately 73%, or 402 of these 549 individuals, were foreign-born. A further breakdown of the U.S. citizenship status of these individuals at the time of their respective convictions shows that 254 were not United States citizens, 148 were foreign-born, naturalized, and received U.S. citizenship, and 147 were citizens, U.S. citizens by birth. I'll point out that one of the cases that's highlighted in the Section 11 report refers to a defendant who we convicted in the Southern District of New
Hold on. We got it now? Yeah, we got it now. I don't know what the problem was, but I sure do hope that I didn't go 30 minutes right there with no sound. Oh, God, I hope not, but I still got the live streams going, thank goodness. Let's see what we can find here. I know I got some other stuff for us to listen at concerning news and the mainstream media making fun of the fake news awards and whatever. We don't care. We think it's funny, so whatever. Hold on just a moment. I messed up, I think. In just one second.
The president and the porn star has been a story since last Friday, and I have not said a word about it because there are so many more important stories that we have to cover. Now, this is the very first copy of In Touch magazine that I have ever held in my hands.
I bet.
And I've learned a lot from this magazine. There's a lot more in here than what's on the cover, including a lot of stuff that I don't have time to read, like everything you could possibly want to know about everyone and anyone named Kardashian. And there are some quick read items like, are they going overboard with lip plumping? I actually didn't have to read that one to get the right answer, which of course is yes. And there's some really nice human interest stories like the couple that lost 470 pounds together. And there's a story about someone else in the magazine whose doctor would like him to lose some weight.
That's right.
This guy.
Jet fat
That's
ass.
one of the pictures of him that appears in the cover story about the President of the United States and the porn star. On the cover of the magazine, the headline is My Affair with Donald, and it promises you the details inside the magazine about, quote, secret hotel hookups, how they hid it from Melania, and the cover asks, will the First Lady file for divorce? And I did not have to read the article to get that answer right, too, which is no.
Ow.
Here is how the cover story is presented inside the magazine. In her own words, Stormy Daniels, Donald cheated on Melania with me. An explosive interview with In Touch, a woman from Donald Trump's past spills her secrets of their affair. And that is all I have had the time to read in this article about Donald Trump having an affair with a porn star 4 months after his third wife gave birth to his fifth child. 10 years before he ran for president.
What about that?
Okay, I actually did read one more thing in the article.
One more
It's the
thing.
big pull quote in the middle of the article. It's Stormy Daniels talking about her first date with Donald Trump.
Oh my God.
She says, I was definitely stimulated. I could tell he was nice. Intelligent in conversation. Intelligent in conversation. That is actually the article's only direct contribution to the current controversy surrounding the president's mental capacities. So, that's a bit of good news.
the president was able to pass the porn star intelligence test 10 years ago. We didn't know that until today, but that's it.
That's it.
That's all I had time for in this story. The first time in history the President of the United States is on the cover of a magazine with a porn star in a story about them having an affair and the President paying the porn star $130,000.
Now hold it right there. He just told a lie. Because it turns out there have been presidents who had cowboys, that's right, cowboys over to the White House. And you need some reminding. Hold on, I'll get some reminding going on for you. These are gay porn stars. Not just cowboys, but gay porn stars. Okay? And that's not hearsay. Okay? This is proven. Right there is right there's 4 articles. One from CNN. Bush 41 calls Trump a blowhard. Well, never mind. That's CNN. My bad. But hold on, I got an article coming up right here from the nypost.com. It's guaranteed to prove that MSNBC is a bunch of liars. Ex-White House staffers reveal Bush and Obama's best jokes. That's not it. Hold on. All you can find is Donald Trump and Donald Trump and porn star, Donald Trump and porn star. But this is the truth. I'm not making this up. God Almighty, I ain't got no sense to make something like that up. Let's see if we can go back about a year. Following the not-so-surprising ouster of the predecessor, Sean Spicer, Scaramucci made headlines for a profanity-laced interview with the New Yorker magazine that colorfully described the new White House colleague Steve Bannon as he's trying to, quote, suck his own cock-a-doodle-doo, end quote. Then there was the revelation that his wife of 3 years, what? Okay, first of all, I do know what I'm talking about. I'm not making this up. I wouldn't make that up for nothing, no amount of money. I mean, half of the politicians are gay, okay? I mean, that's well known. It don't matter if they're married or not. It's just a front. Here's Dennis Hauster. Disgraced Speaker Dennis Hauster faces up to 5 years in prison after admitting he paid $3.5 million to cover up underage sex plot. Former U.S. House Speaker Dennis Hastert pleaded guilty on Wednesday to federal charges of invading bank rules and large something other. This is from dailymail.uk. I know I went way out of the way right there to prove one little point, but it was a pretty big point, and MSN is nothing but a bunch of liars, especially this SOB right here, whatever his name is, and that little thinning haircut of his. I mean, I know I ain't got the best show in the world, and like I said, I ain't gonna win no Golden Globe or nothing like that. But hey, look at these people, and they get up on national TV day in, day out, hour after hour, and tell one lie right after another, and expect y'all to believe it. I mean, you talk about an insult of intelligence, okay? That takes the case. That is, gag me.
By her silence in the Trump White House, that is just another day at the office.
Just another day at
and
the
the White
office.
House press secretary today was not asked a single question
Nothing.
about the porn star and the president. Not one question. There
Well,
is no clearer measure.
She
of
probably
how
knows
much
all about
Donald
it.
Trump has changed the presidency and how much Donald Trump has changed the White House press corps
That's right.
and the news media in America.
That's right.
But he hasn't changed the news media the way he wants to change the news media. He has not bent the news media to his will. He has not beaten them down to the point
No.
where no one in the White House press corps dared to ask about the president and the porn star today. He has simply changed the news media's ability to focus on the president and the porn star story by creating so many more important stories about his presidency, more urgent stories, including so many more negative stories about his presidency. Stories like his racist attack on all 54 countries in Africa. Stories like the Trump White House chief of staff who decided that the right thing for him to do today would be to side with Joseph Stalin and Donald Trump against Republican Senator Jeff Flake,
It would.
who compared Donald Trump to Joseph Stalin on the floor of the United States Senate. Talk about Senate history. That's the first time a senator has compared the President of the United States to Joseph
I
Stalin.
guarantee it is.
And we're also covering stories like the president's former White House chief strategist deciding to cooperate with the special prosecutor investigating the Trump White House. That is a more important story
It sure is.
than the president and the porn star.
It sure is.
NBC News reports that a source close to Steve Bannon's legal team says that he is cooperating with Special Prosecutor Robert Mueller and will be interviewed by the Special Prosecutor's team of investigators instead of being subpoenaed to testify to a grand jury. Sources indicated that it is still undecided exactly when that interview will take place. The source also tells NBC News that during Bannon's appearance before the House Intelligence Committee yesterday, roughly 6 hours were spent on questions related to the campaign, and another roughly 5 hours were spent on questions related to the transition and Bannon's time at the White House. The Associated Press has new details about that. Steve Bannon's attorney relayed questions in real time to the White House during a House Intelligence Committee interview of the former Trump chief strategist. That's according to people familiar with the closed-door session. The Associated Press continues. Bannon's attorney, Bill Burke, was asking the White House counsel's office by phone whether his client could answer the questions. He was told by that office not to discuss his work on the transition or in the White House. It's unclear who Burke communicated with or whether it was top White House lawyer Don McGahn. Burke is also representing Don McGahn in the special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation. Tonight, White House Chief of Staff John Kelly said this.
Did the White House tell him to invoke executive privilege?
No.
No.
Steve has had very, very little contact with the White House since he left. I know Steve a little bit, not very well. He left the White House and has really never returned to the White House, and with the exception of a few phone calls here and there, very, very little contact with the White House. And I certainly have never spoken to him since he left.
And here's what Congressman Adam Schiff, the ranking Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee, just said to Rachel about this.
They sent General Kelly out today to say, we haven't invoked executive privilege. Technically, that's true. What they have done, which is more problematic, is telling witnesses, don't answer the questions, right, but also don't tell the committee that we've invoked executive privilege. We don't want to look like we're hiding something by invoking privilege, but we don't want you to answer the questions, so don't answer them. If we allow this, it will not only obviously impair our ability to get to the truth, it will impair the ability of any Congress in the future to hold any administration accountable if we will simply take no for an answer when it's convenient to the White House.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe.
We'll sure do that, buddy. We'll be sure to do that. But anyway, how does these people get on TV and keep a straight face and tell so many lies? I couldn't tell one lie and keep a straight face. Especially about some made-up dossier. Trump hired some Russian hookers to come over to his Russian hotel where Michelle Obama and President Barack Obama stayed. They're staying in Russia, and hired them to urinate right on the bed where they laid and slept. I mean, that's the best thing I've ever heard in my life, and I don't care if it is true or not. It's still the best thing I've ever heard. I mean, but that's what we're supposed to think is intelligence, and
let's get into the
just
show.
believe it and go on.
Coming on in the news. Let's get right into it now.
Let's get right into it.
Remember a few weeks back when President Trump announced that he was going to reveal the winners of his fake news awards? Remember this? He said that they would be awards for the most corrupt and biased reporting. Well, tonight was the day, and he's finally announced them. I know, it's huge. We're so excited. When we went to watch the awards, the website immediately crashed. It was gone. It crashed for everybody. In fact, this is what most people saw when they went to the page. Is that the website for the fake news awards or the current website for the United States of America? Can we see that again? Look. I mean, only Trump would put a picture of himself giving a thumbs up next to the message that says error. All good, very fine. So we kept trying. Eventually, we got through, and it was just a website. There was no show, no award show, no celebrity presenters, no Ryan Seacrest on the red carpet. It was literally just a typed up list And that's what he kept us waiting for. That's not an award ceremony. That's a Craigslist ad. I will say, I looked at the website and I did not win an award. I did not win a fake news award, I know. But I have to be honest with you, it truly is an amazing honour for me just not to be nominated. You know?
No.
It was no surprise an award was given to CNN. They won for falsely reporting that Trump overfed fish on his trip to Japan. Glad he cleared that up, because that's the crisis in Asia looming on the horizon that everyone's worried about. Not nuclear missiles, bloated koi fish. But Trump gave out fake awards to everyone. CNN, ABC. He even gave an award to Stormy Daniels, the porn star who claimed to have spent an evening with him. She took home the award for fakest orgasm. On to some real news. And this is shocking. According to a White House physician, President Trump is apparently fit for office. I know. Yesterday, Trump's doctor released the results of his physical and said that the president is in very good health. And not only is he physically healthy, apparently Trump received a perfect score on a test designed to screen for brain damage. As a rebuttal, I'd like to submit about 15,000 tweets that seem to prove otherwise. I mean, no, but this is good news for Trump. It is, it's good news for Trump. But then again, how well is your presidency going if you have to have a doctor stand in front of cameras and promise America that you don't have brain damage? Well, it was a very thorough physical, though. The last time anyone examined Trump that closely, he paid her $130,000 just to keep quiet.
Boy, that guy's got a pretty haircut, I tell you
Has
what.
anyone heard of this app, Natural Cycles? It's a contraceptive app that is used as a form of birth control, and it's been hit with a complaint after 37 women using the app have become pregnant. Yeah. When asked how so many people got pregnant, the company said because they used an app as contraception. It allowed 37 unwanted pregnancies. That's less reliable than the condom I kept in my wallet all through high school. And college. And in my 20s. And a bit of my 30s.
That's a bit too many details for me from the little fat guy with the English accent. But anyways, I just don't see how people tell so many lies on national TV and keeps a straight face. I mean, well, that guy didn't really keep much of a straight face, but I tell you what, he wasn't near as funny as that audience let on like he was. It's a good thing they got that little ha-ha sign that lights up, every 5 seconds, or he'd really be up the creek without a paddle. But anyways, let me see what else I got on for tonight's set list, if you will. I just get tired of listening to so many lies. I really do. I mean, it kind of makes me wonder why that I sit here. I mean, I just want y'all to pick up on this like I do. Just like a dog on a hot rabbit sign or something, I can pick up on it just like that. But I don't know. That's just me. Or Sarah. We won't listen to Sarah no more tonight. Yeah. We will move on to this article here from thedailycaller.com. Senate votes to reauthorize the FISA, ever how you say that. FISA or FISA. Meanwhile, who forgot about Dennis Hastert facing up to 5 years in prison after admitting paying $3.5 million to cover up underage gay sex plot? Little boys. Did anybody forget that? Well, I did. My mind's as long as a goldfish, so, you know. Senate votes to reauthorize FISA without substantial reforms. Senate voted on Thursday 65 to 34 to reauthorize the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, or FISA, a piece of legislation that was recently set to expire without significant changes to the government's surveillance apparatus. The bill, which passed the House 256 to 164 last week, extends Section 702 of the FISA program for 6 years if it is ultimately signed by President Donald Trump. The specific statute allows federal intelligence agencies to collect data on foreigners expected of crimes. The broad powers interpreted in the law and inherent natural of surveillance, however, often cause the electronic communications of law-abiding Americans to be scooped as well. The crux of debate surrounding the legislation was if it needed fundamental reforms in order to safeguard constitutional protections for American citizens, something a bipartisan group of senators have been constantly advocating for. National security hawks like Republican Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas argue that FISA and all its both enumerated and unlisted powers are necessary for the U.S. intelligence agencies to combat crime abroad, particularly terrorism. Contrarily, privacy champions like Republican Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky and Democratic Senator Ron Wyden of Oregon argue that it is possible to both ensure the intelligence community is fully equipped to protect the country from evildoers abroad while also protecting the foundational principles of the U.S. Constitution. They believe the best way to achieve the balance is by reconstructing the law with major reforms such as changing the quote about unquote collection practice in which communication sometimes entirely among innocent Americans can be swept if they reference the intended target's email address. Quote, in opposition to the government listening to your phone calls, reading your emails, or reading your text messages without a warrant, end quote, Paul said on the Senate floor in an impassioned speech to colleagues Tuesday, quote, it doesn't mean the government will never do this, but it means they will have to ask a judge. They would have to ask a judge if they had probable cause that you committed a crime, end quote. Not all the speakers on the Senate floor Tuesday advocated for more reforms of FISA and against a, for the most part, clean reauthorization. Quote, it's not a perfect bill, but I hardly have worked on a perfect piece of legislation, end quote. Democratic Senator Mark Warner of Virginia, who is also the vice chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee, said while advocating for the bill. He asserted that it's comprehensive enough for the IC while still making some obstacle concessions. Warner even turned around during his speech to attempt to personally address Wyden and his deep-seated concerns. We've been debating this issue for the last 18 months, Warner continued, going on to say, quote, I believe that this bill will strengthen and protect Americans, end quote. He also said, quote, "This is the most reviewed federal program in government," end quote. Senator Richard Burr of North Carolina said following Warner's speech, Wyden requested 2 more minutes speaking time on the floor towards the end of the debating session to clarify that a vote to turn down reauthorization would not stop the program from operating nor imperil the Intelligence Committee's investigative processes. Eventually, after a lengthy cloture vote, the final vote was cast. The final vote on 6-year reauthorization then had a maximum of 30 hours for further debate. Originally, the bill was given a sunset for the end of 2018, and lawmakers either scrambled to reinstate the law spying programs or resisted and waited for the deep concessions. It was eventually given a temporary reauthorization as the proverbial shot clock was winding down and Congress was ready to leave for its Christmas recess. But the time of kicking the can down the road ended, and it is now in the hands of Trump, who last week chimed into the debate with some contradictory statements, tweeting, quote, "House votes on controversial FISA Act today," end quote. "This is the act that may be used with the help of the discredited and phony dossier to so badly surveil and abuse the Trump campaign by the previous administration and others, question mark." And he also tweeted, quote, "With that being said, I have personally directed the fix to the unmasking process since taking office, and today's vote is about foreign surveillance of foreign bad guys on foreign land. We need it. Get smart." Trump's original tweet reflects his apparent apprehensiveness over the surveillance powers, since he and many others believe the lame duck, perhaps rogue intelligence officials will, maybe the FBI or larger Department of Justice, purposely unmask key public officials within the Trump administration. Former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn's ties to Russian proxies, for example, were discovered through 702 surveillance mechanisms, I guess how you say that, without what some say was a deliberate act from Obama administration officials during the transitional period. In a piece titled, quote, "Will the GOP remake surveillance laws after Trump leaks," end quote, the Daily Caller News Foundation explored how Flynn outing may change the perception of certain legislators who almost always side with the wishes of the Intelligence Committee. But, yeah. They're going to continue to spy on us, and we're going to continue to lump it and just go right along and take it right on the butt and just go on. Here's an article I don't know that I will necessarily read or not, but this popped up in my notifications earlier, and you know, it's the coldest time I've ever seen probably, and they're talking about global temperatures being higher than ever. I guess in 2017 it was. I don't know. I read just a hair of it, but yeah, just more crap, to put it in a nice way. I don't exactly know why, but my Instagram feed has quit, which I don't care. The show must go on. Anybody out there listening, who were watching on Instagram, you can go to alexmorganshow.org or go to my Spreaker link, which I have tweeted on Twitter and posted on Facebook also. Scorcher 2017 ranked among 3 hottest years ever. I don't know if I much believe that or not. That's a little bit of a big statement. Probably just supporting their little global warming scam they got going on. Says analysis by NASA scientists showed that 2017 was the second warmest year on record, with global averaging temperatures across the land and sea surfacing measuring 1.62 degrees Fahrenheit, 90 hundredths degrees Celsius above average temperatures from 1951 to 1980. Meanwhile, NOAA researchers' assessment placed 2017 as the third warmest year, reporting global average temperatures as 1.51 degrees Fahrenheit, or 0.84 degrees Celsius above average. Yeah. I don't know about y'all, but it's about 5 degrees at my house tonight. I sure do. I could surely use some global warming, and I know it. Here's an awesome tweet by @Carrie KSADA. I'll try to put it up here so everybody can see it. don't know what happened to it. I sat right there and waited and waited and waited. Oh well. It was Barack Obama and a bunch of Democrats behind bars. I think there was even a few Republicans in there, by the way. That's pretty, I like that, that's, damn, that's loud. I'm sorry about that. I apologize. When that mic's back far, I feel like I'm echoing in my ears, and yeah. But I gotta admit, this is the best sound system I've had thus far during my existence. I saw a thing last night. They want to hire people to do shows pretty much like I do and stuff, and I kind of thought about contacting them, but there's something told me it was a scam. But what I am planning on doing, I'm planning on maybe contacting some local radio stations and seeing if they'll pick up the show, or I don't know. We'll do whatever. I'd like to get some advertising going on. Just anything to make money. I need to make money to make this work. If I don't start making some money, folks, I'm gonna quit. Okay, that's pretty much the way it is, because it's one thing to do something because you love it, but you can't do what you love and be broke at the same time. It just don't work. Okay, folks. I love doing this little show for y'all. I know it ain't the best ever was, but hey, I put out like a biatch, okay? You hear me? I do. I do that for you all. I know I act goofy sometimes and kind of get tickled at how crazy that these man, our leaders are retarded, okay? The people on these news channels are these people on TV are more retarded than they are, okay? They're all fake. They not only are they actors on TV, they're actors what time they're living, okay? They're all, well, I won't say they're all bad, but for the most part they are, and it's actually pretty scary if you ask me. But whatever. Just gonna check out my tweets here to see if got anything good. I ain't much on the Instagram. It ain't so great, really. In my opinion, that is. Which I'm not big on social media. Facebook pretty much sucks anymore. I never get on Facebook. Only reason I use Facebook is for this show right here. I share links and this and that and the other, and I believe a lot of people's quit hit right here lately. I'm kind of just boredom, same old stuff, different day. Message. Probably the wife. It got up to 33 degrees today sometime. I remember seeing it while I was in the car, I think. When the sun went down this afternoon, I think it was around 20, 22 degrees. And I don't know how cold it is right now, but I got propane and electric heat going. And it's getting pretty cold in here, if you ask me. But that's just me. We just went over 100 minutes for this show. I'm hoping and praying that I didn't mess the first of it up. If so, I will go back over this. I will delete the live stream. What I'll do, I'll just delete the podcast. If that's what happened, I will delete the podcast, and we will stay strictly with the live stream for the 64th episode. I hate to do it like that, but I mean, what are you gonna do? Expect people to sit right there and listen to nothing for 30 minutes? I mean, if that's what happened, I really do apologize. I do this entirely on my own. I have no help from nobody but the good Lord above, and that's it. But, yeah. That's all I got. Let's see what kind of weather we got going on. According to this, it's 23 degrees right now in Hyden. Tonight, a low of 21. Winds light and variable. New snowstorm is on its way. Sorry, I had a little family moment there, and I wanted to save that peak. Folks, if you haven't been over to the Facebook pages, go over there and like Freedom Internet Radio Media and like the Alex Morgan Show, please. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can like me on iHeart. You can like me on Spreaker. You can like me on... Hell, just like me on everything if you want to. If you don't like me, I understand. I mean, there ain't very many people that does like me, probably, which I don't care. I mean, I don't like many people myself neither, but you know, I go along to get along, I guess. You know, just like everybody else. But hey, I'm doing this for you all, okay? I love y'all. I'm just sitting here. I just told y'all I'll be live, by the way. And I kept a straight face like the media. But anyways. Yeah. You got to go to Alex Morgan show.org/store. I know I don't have maybe 15 products on there right now, but hey, buy you a pack of batteries. Those things are rechargeable. They'll last. They might outlive you for all you know. If you take care of them right and you keep them charged, you don't let them run dead all the time, or just a battery is a muscle, pretty much, and the more you exercise that muscle, the better it will work. Okay. And again, rechargeable batteries, they're not alkaline. They're usually lithium or something a little more souped up in the metal. Okay, now my live stream is out. And I know why. I see that old bad charger hanging there, and it must go. Folks, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. I could do this all night, but yeah, I'm wore out. It's been a long day. I'll be back though. Won't be that many days. I'm tired of not doing this on a more regular basis. This is pretty much my life, besides my little family life and this and that. And hey, subscribe, tell your friends, share those links. You know, whatever. Give me an email, thealexmorganshow@gmail.com. You can email me at freedominternetmedia@gmail.com. Holler at me on social media, la-di-da-di-da. We'll get together and we'll get wild if you wants to. Alright, I love you. Good night. Peace out. Kiss your children. Hug your granny. Kiss your mommy. Good night.